Welcome, everybody, to episode 9 of Aggressively Speaking. My name's Tony Browski.
I'm Troy Frank. What's up? Too loud?
I don't know what that was, but welcome to our podcast. I don't know what that was, but I'm just going to act like it didn't happen. So, this is going to be not a laid-back episode, but there's definitely less topics.
It's a slow news day.
Very slow news week. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the scouting combine at the time of recording this starts tomorrow, so I'm sure after the scouting combine there's going to be a lot of NFL news to talk about. But
Yeah, be prepared for in-depth analysis of all NFL draftees.
from yours truly.
OJ. Yours truly.
Hey, Twitter world. Hey, YouTube. it's your boy. Yeah, I'm one of those nerds that actually sits down and watches film on these prospects. So that'll be fun. I like the scouting combine a lot, but that's not until tomorrow at the time of recording this. But until then, we do have some Lions-related news to talk about that we will start the show with here momentarily. I also want to touch on the Red Wings.
I've actually, you brought this up to me a couple days ago as if I didn't know what was going on. I have a solid idea.
You knew it was a trade deadline?
I knew it was the trade deadline, and I knew who got traded. I knew what's coming back. So I'm read up.
All right.
You underestimate my abilities, Tony.
From a hockey standpoint, yes. Absolutely. Troy, if you just started listening or watching this podcast and you missed the very first episode, Troy made it very clear that he's not a hockey guy. He almost got into it.
It's really hard to get into a sport when your team is awful. And I chose the wrong time to try to get into hockey.
Try next year.
2017 or 2018. It was like Pinnacle, Red Wings on the downslope, and where they have aging veterans and all this, and
very little youth. Yes.
Yeah, and it just was not fun to watch, and it seemed like they were just heading towards no hope with Kenny under the
good old Kenny.
Good old Kenny.
But now things are looking up, and it looks like you're coming back to the hockey side. So we'll talk about them and the trade deadline a little bit later in the show. Also, we kind of touched on it, I think, at the end of last week's program, your franchise list thing.
Yes, sir.
I originally hated this idea, but Troy, he's going to try to make something out of it here.
Yeah.
So
I think I have enough good questions for you, and I've done enough research to kind of formulate analysis and get your opinion. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be kind of a more laid-back-ish episode. But our first topic of the day is not really laid back. It's obviously with the Lions.
It's very stressful.
Very stressful. But this might not be so stressful. So obviously, like I mentioned already, at the time of recording this, the scouting combine starts tomorrow. And we've already got some draft rumors coming out involving the Lions and other teams surrounding the Lions in the draft order. So earlier today, there was a report that came out from an NFL update page on Twitter. They were quoting what Redskins new head coach Ron Rivera said at his presser at the combine, and I'm paraphrasing here, but Ron Rivera mentioned how they are going to do their due diligence on, more than their due diligence on quarterback prospects like Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa, because
it's cool.
I'm gonna pull up the actual report here so I don't get this wrong. Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now.
No,
all right,
got the gist of it.
No. My sports update on Twitter. Everyone knows NFL update. Quote, #Redskins head coach Ron Rivera says the team will bring in Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa for pre-draft visits, said all options are on the table, with little eyeball emojis. So here's the thing. We all know Joe Burrow's going number 1 to Cincinnati. All this talk that, he might not want to play for Cincinnati. The Bengals might pass on him. That's such baloney. The Bengals are taking Joe Burrow number 1 overall.
I think at this point there's a 0.0 infinite % chance that the Lions ever even get the opportunity to draft Burrow.
Yeah,
let alone take him.
The Redskins aren't even going to get a chance. He's going number 1 overall to Cincinnati. That's set. But number 2, we always kind of assume that the Redskins were kind of similar to the Bengals and Burrow, where it was almost set in stone that the Redskins were going to take Chase Young. But now we're seeing reports that they could be doing due diligence on quarterbacks, which could mean one or two things. One, they could actually be looking at a quarterback, which makes sense because, it's a whole new regime there with Ron Rivera and Bruce Allen out. So Dwayne Haskins technically isn't their guy. If they wanted to move off of him, now's the time because he'll be going into his second year. Haskins, that is.
Yeah.
Or it could mean that Washington is looking to pull a smokescreen here and maybe get a team like Miami to shoot up and take Tua or whatever, give them draft capital. And if that's the case, let's say hypothetically Miami trades up to 2, they take Tua. You know who would be available at 3 for the Lions?
Oh boy.
Good old Chase Young.
Who looked like an absolute monster in those workout tapes that he came out with a couple days ago. Oh my God, that was unbelievable watching that.
If the Lions somehow end up with Chase Young, I'll be on the floor. Like, as critical as I have been, or both of us have been, about the Lions throughout the past few years, man, like Chase Young is just like the perfect piece for this football team.
Yeah.
The Lions need someone to get pressure to the quarterback. Chase Young is far and away the best pass rusher in the draft. He might be the best player, period, in this draft. He would be a good fit in Matt Patricia's scheme. I mean, it would just make so much sense. It would just be so perfect for the Lions to possibly get Chase Young. And that's why this report, that's why it's leading off our program this week. It's juicy.
It is. But I gotta say, listening to the way they're approaching this, it just sounds like they're...
Who, the Redskins?
Yeah. It just sounds like they're just doing their due diligence. Like it would kind of be malpractice for them to, have the number 2 pick and not weigh the top 3 options out,
Well, yeah, they have to look at quarterbacks.
So, I think this is just kind of part of the draft process.
Could be something, could be nothing. Like I said, it could mean exactly what you just said. It's just the Redskins doing their business. It could be the Redskins looking at a quarterback, or they could be like pulling the cards here and being like, yeah, we like Tua a lot. The Miami's like, oh, no. We'll shoot up. We'll pass the Lions, too, who are reported into
See, I think people are shooting Miami a little short here.
What do you mean?
They think that the Miami's just ready to pull the trigger on any trade-up option available. They might just hold on because I don't think the Lions are actually going to be drafting a quarterback. And this is just, me, just a random citizen seeing this from the outside. I'm not a general manager in football, and I think Miami has a lot better idea of what the Lions are going to do. And I think Washington drafting a quarterback is just kind of out of the question at the moment.
I don't know. Like I said,
maybe not completely out of the question, but I'd say it's a 95% chance they draft Chase Young.
I'll say this. The Redskins, the Lions, and the Giants, 2, 3, and 4 respectively in the draft, they're all doing a good job putting out these smoke screens. Redskins with this report, Lions with the Stafford trade rumors and the whole Tua thing.
But then they
hold on. The Giants also said that their new head coach Joe Judge came out yesterday on Tuesday and said, "Yeah, I'm not looking to name anyone starter yet, including Daniel Jones." So everyone's doing a good job smokescreen wise. So,
when you said the Lions were doing a good job with the Matthew Stafford talk,
that's not what I meant.
They immediately shot that down with what Bob Quinn said the other day.
That's not what I really meant by they're doing a good job smokescreen wise. I meant with Tua.
Yeah.
Not the Stafford trade rumors.
Yeah, but I mean, using the Stafford trade rumors as a smokescreen, the media, I think, put that one out there, and then Bob Quinn was just like, no, please, Matthew. We're not doing this. I swear.
Well, yeah, you don't want to piss off your franchise quarterback.
Not if you're trying to get a new one.
They're not. Troy, we're not doing this topic today. We're not doing this topic today. We've done this numerous times already. I mean, like I said, these teams, though, are doing their jobs, putting smoke screens out there with regards to Tua, and maybe not looking at thinking their franchise quarterbacks right now are the guys, with the Giants, Daniel Jones, and with the Redskins, Dwayne Haskins. Now, do I think the Redskins and the Giants are going to move off of their respective guys? No, probably not, especially the Giants with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones had a really good rookie year last year.
Yeah.
Now, Haskins, that makes more sense than Daniel Jones because Haskins had a really bad rookie year last year, kind of looked like a deer lost in headlights. But also, he plays for the Redskins. I mean, the Redskins, before they got their crap together, were the most toxic franchise in sports. But, I mean, like I said, it's just seeing reports like this really make you think. And if the Lions somehow get Chase Young, that's like the perfect scenario for them.
Yeah, that's a perfect building block to a rebuild. That's for sure. Do you think if they get Chase Young, if Slay was to be on the team on draft day, do you think they keep him at that point?
Well, first of all, I don't think Slay will be on the team on draft day, but
hypotheticals.
So you're saying if they get Chase Young and Darius Slay still on the team, you think they would like retract and keep him?
Do you think you think they aggressively pursue keeping Slay at that point?
Well, if Darius Slay is still on the team on draft day, I think they would move towards keeping him, yes, because we'll learn everything we need to know at the Combine. At the Combine, that's usually when we start to see these trade rumors become deals. And Dave Burkett of the Free Press wrote the other day that it's looking inevitable that they are going to move on, slaying the Lions, that is. So, yeah.
Frustrating.
I know. This franchise, man. But,
can we just get an XFL team, please? And move on from the Lions?
The XFL team would probably find a way to lose too.
They'd be owned by the Fords as well.
Ugh. They would play in Ford Field probably.
Yeah.
But
or Michigan Stadium. I like that. Get 100,000 people at an XFL stadium.
The stadium that you don't like.
I mean, it's cramped and the benches are cold and hard, but it's big, so I like that.
The big house. I hope it's big. But anywho, I mean, yeah, we'll learn everything we need to know about where Slay and the Lions are at the Combine. If he's still a Lion past the Combine, I think that tells you that, one, the trade market wasn't there, and two, maybe they can try to figure out a way to keep Slay going into the season, which if they want to win now, they should keep him, but that's neither here or there. But I mean, to answer your question, I would say, yeah, probably, if Slay is still here on draft day.
I mean, there is that, the whole thing of, okay, what about if Slay's there by the third pick and they still have it? Like, they could theoretically just trade him later on in the first round, but let's say they draft Chase Young. Do they move him later on in the first round?
They better not. Like, Chase Young would bring so much excitement to the Lions, and then they would just completely suck it away the second they trade Slay away. The Lions would be kicking down the sand tower that they just built up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Lions, the fan base is really happy that we got Chase Young. They kick the tower down. They're like, Slay to the Eagles. And it's like, okay, thanks, Bob.
Now, who do you think is more important to have on this team for this season?
Chase Young or Slay? Chase Young.
Okay, good.
Chase Young would make such a difference on that defense. Because, I mean, the Lions secondary was fine last year, but they would be so much better if someone could get pressure to the quarterback.
Yeah.
When the quarterback doesn't have all day to sit back there and wait for receivers to get open, then, it makes your defense look worse.
100%. And I was hoping you'd say that too. I was really scared if you said Slay.
Well, I mean, I do. It's a known fact that I love Darius Slay. That's my guy. But no, Chase Young, definitely. I mean, like I said, when no one's getting pressure to the quarterback and the QB is just sitting there for 10 seconds, a receiver's eventually going to get open. And that makes guys like Darius Slay and Justin Coleman look worse than they actually are,
Now, do you think this is? Do you think this adds any more validity to these rumors with Washington? the fact that the rumors came about 2 weeks ago when we talked about it on that episode, and now that they're being kind of reported instead of just being rumors, do you think it adds validity to the idea?
This is a big difference between reports and rumors. You know?
No, I mean, like, do you think it makes it more of a case that they would go and draft a quarterback?
Washington?
Yeah, the fact that there was rumors and now those rumors are being confirmed.
I mean, like I said, it could mean numerous things for why these reports came out. It could be, like you said, just kind of like they're just doing due diligence, doing work with quarterbacks. I mean, the Lions did work with quarterbacks last year, not because they were looking at taking 8 overall, just because
they were available. There were going to be quarterbacks available at that time.
Like they did work with Kyler Murray. They knew Kyler wasn't going to be there, but they still had to do homework with him. But also, you know, maybe Washington could be looking at a quarterback because, as I mentioned already, Dwayne Haskins wasn't Ron Rivera or the new regime's guy. So if the Redskins wanted to pull a Cardinals Josh Rosen here, where you trade the quarterback after the rookie season, now would obviously be the time because Dwayne Haskins is coming off his rookie year. You could get your guy in here, and the Cardinals are a perfect example because if you get the right head coach and the right quarterback in there, that can really excel your rebuild. You know, the Cardinals went from, what the hell are they doing? They fired Steve Wilkes after a year, and they brought in Cliff Kingsbury. They're getting rid of Rosen after his rookie year. They're bringing in Kyler Murray. Like, what are they doing? Now we're sitting here like, damn, the Cardinals are kind of smart for doing that. So that the Redskins could be looking to pull a Cardinals here in that sense, or they could just be looking to get a team like the Chargers, Dolphins, Panthers to try to shoot up and take their guy and give them draft capital, you know?
Yeah.
So it could mean numerous things, but right now, pre-scouting combine at the time of recording this, we're just left to kind of speculate, and that's where I'm at right now as a Lions fan. The fact that, the Chase Young scenario is back open.
Yeah.
Because
that is the perfect scenario.
Yes, if they land Chase Young anyhow, that's a perfect scenario. You know, like my draft board for the Lions is Chase Young at number 1, and then like obviously I had to see what happens at the combine, but like 2, 3, 4, it's like your Okudas, your Browns, your boy Simmons, who you posted a link to a YouTube video yesterday on Twitter about that. So since we're talking about the draft, let's just move there. Simmons is still your guy right now, pre-combine?
Oh, for sure. I mean, other than Chase Young. And other than...
Who would you rather have, Troy? Chase Young, Isaiah Simmons?
Of course, you know.
Isaiah.
Of course, Isaiah. He can play more positions, so...
Duh.
No, I think that Isaiah is the best non-Chase Young option for this regime. I think, you know, under a different regime, I'd say Tua, take it or leave it. Under this regime, it's Chase Young and then Isaiah Simmons number 2. And I think Okudah is probably number 3.
You coming around on Okudah?
I mean, Okudah is the best option behind those guys. I'd say I'm only downing Okudah so that I can prop up Isaiah Simmons. Other than that, he's a great, you know, he's going to be a great prospect or a great player. I mean,
Simmons or Okudah?
Okudah.
Yeah.
I think he will be a great player. I just like Isaiah Simmons better.
I mean, you kind of touched on it. Isaiah Simmons is kind of the perfect fit for Matt Patricia's defense. I mean, Simmons can literally play anywhere on the defense.
Yeah.
Safety, corner, slot corner, linebacker. You can blitz him. Like, this guy is so versatile, and he's athletic as hell. I've been saying since the national championship game that he's going to blow up the combine. He probably will.
Yeah.
By the time people are probably watching this, Simmons probably already broke the internet because of how well he did at the combine. And, you know, he is a perfect Matt Patricia guy.
I keep forgetting that this is going to be released smack dab in the middle of the combine. Oh, boy.
I mean,
we better be right about this stuff.
I mean, quarterbacks and wide receivers are on Thursday, so I imagine this will be out Thursday. Okay. So it will be right before, I think, corners and linebackers and all those guys go. But anywho, yeah, Isaiah Simmons is like perfect for this defense, but so would Chase Young. And it would be...
Chase Young's perfect for any defense. That's how you know he's a good player. A fantastic player.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that the Redskins are kind of like not treating this like the Bengals though. Like the Bengals are straight up like they know Joe Burrow's their guy.
I mean, Joe Burrow is the first pick. I mean,
Yeah.
And
Chase Young
regardless of what team is picking first, I think he's the first pick. And that's
Chase
the
Young,
kind of reassurance that they have. It's like 100% we're taking him because there's no other option for us.
and Chase Young is clearly the first pick that's not a quarterback.
Yes, sir.
But I think it's just interesting that Washington is kind of dipping their toe in the water here looking at a quarterback. Because you mentioned before we went on air, you kind of disagree with that, moving off of Haskins possibly.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's an awful thing, but I mean, you look at, and I don't want to say they're the same player because you mistook that. The Lions, when they drafted Matthew Stafford, his first season, he had 13 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. You look at a guy that throws 20 interceptions his first year, you're like, oh, that wasn't good at all. And I wouldn't say go out and draft Josh Freeman or whoever was the top quarterback in the 2010 draft.
I think it might have been Sam Bradford.
Yeah, Sam Bradford.
Oh,
I'm not, out there saying, oh, Matthew Stafford's no good, go and draft Sam Bradford. You stick with your guy. And I mean,
but Dwayne Haskins isn't their guy. That's the thing.
That might have been, and I don't know the ins and outs of the way Washington conducted their interviews. That might have been a thing where it's like, we got a rookie. Do you like him or not? Would you want him as your guy or not? And if not, I don't know if I don't know if that was a deal breaker for Washington.
I'm not really sure if Washington hired Ron Rivera because of his ability or liking towards Dwayne Haskins or not. I mean, it's Ron Rivera.
Yeah, but
he's
I'm
a really
not
good
saying,
head coach.
But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, that might have been an interview question for sure.
Yeah, probably. Like, what do you think of our rookie? You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. I get that. But, I mean, I get your point, but at the same time, why I brought up the Cardinals example is because it worked. They dumped Rosen after year one, and they drafted Kyler, number 1 overall, and that really worked out. Him and Cliff Kingsbury looked really good together. But now Cliff is saying that Kyler Murray is like the next Patrick Mahomes. It's like, whoa, all right.
Well, that's yeah. I think Kyler Murray's got to make a couple strides in his development before he can get there.
I like Kyler, but I mean, if your coach is talking that highly of you, hey, man. But I mean,
And Matthew Stafford's the next Brett Favre.
he is.
Oh, don't say that. You grit it.
He
You pushed that right through your teeth there.
Matthew Stafford
He
is going to
is.
win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, on the Patriots.
Oh God.
No.
You don't know how badly I want to win with Stafford, though.
Oh, I know. You basically put your entire childhood and everything into Stafford as your QB. You want him to win. He's been here forever. You kind of grow attached to the guy.
Fan base gives him crap all the time. I was looking right at you.
Yeah, and I'll take ownership of it.
You and all the other folk that want to trash this man.
No, I mean, you want him to succeed, because he's been here for so long, but I just don't think he is a guy that can succeed. At least not here,
not a lot
not in. I mean, he's had a bunch of weapons, and it just seems to not help him.
Not a lot of people can overcome dysfunction. Not a lot of quarterbacks could come to the Lions and make them good. Now, you put Stafford on the Patriots, they would win a Super Bowl for sure.
You know what team organizationally is dysfunctional? The Chargers. And they seem to have off and on really good years and
I don't
push
think
through.
I don't think the Chargers are the Lions or the Browns, though.
No, not that dysfunctional. But they certainly have their shining moments of dysfunction. That's for sure.
I mean, I'm not sure if the Chargers are the best example. If you want to say the Bills, maybe, then sure. The Bills have been
The Bills
a mess.
seem to be on a come up, though. They've been in the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years.
I was just about to get to that. The Bills have been a mess for as long as we can remember, but they're starting to come back up. It starts from the top.
Yeah.
And we all know the Lions are a mess at the top. And, not a lot of people can overcome that whatsoever. So,
What do you think, John?
About what?
I don't know. He was still sitting here.
I was on
so
Twitter.
I thought I'd ask him for his opinion.
I got scared for a minute. You threw John under the bus. I'm like, what is he doing?
I was like, well, John's still here, so I'm just kind of surprised by that. So I
What
just
was
thought
it?
I'd get you.
We
No,
were
never
in the
mind.
middle of like a deep football topic, and
Then why did that
Football.
happen?
he was like, "Why?"
I thought it'd be funny.
Oh, football. I should tune in.
I got scared. I'm like, what is he doing talking to John about this? But I mean,
I apologize. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus. He just laughed.
John just grabbed himself.
That didn't sound right. John just fucking grabbed his crotch and shook it at me.
Okay.
I said,
Please just keep going.
Just keep going,
I
please.
said, crapped himself.
Oh, I thought you said grabbed himself.
Crapped.
thought he
Oh.
said grabbed himself, too.
See? That's funny.
Maybe he did grab himself. I don't know. Okay, this is off the rails now. But I mean, going back to the possible Chase Young rumors, though. I mean, yeah, these pretty interesting to say the least.
Oh, for sure.
Now, anything else you want to talk about
We
pre-combine wise?
got pre-combine. I mean, I'm very interested to see the players that the Patriots are interested in, because that for a fact that's what the Lions are interested in too.
There was a report that the Lions took Johnny Tavai because the Patriots really liked him. So there's some truth to that.
So whoever Bill's peeping at from his binoculars, that's who we should be looking out for too.
I mean, the Patriots need weapons on offense, though. I mean, the Lions are kind of in the market for everything.
Speaking of weapons in the market, and that Amendola deal was a little high. Do you think
Amendola was a good piece to bring back because he's good for the culture. He's good for the locker room. He's a Patriot way guy. Patricia need a guy like him back. I think for $5 million, that's a little.
It's a little pricey for a guy that is older than my dad.
Well, he's not. He
No,
is.
he's not.
I was about to say what on
I'm
earth?
exaggerating a little bit, but you know what I mean.
I mean, Amendola's not a dinosaur. I mean, he's 34. That's not
For
terrible.
a wide receiver.
I mean, that's not. He's put up really good numbers though.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean,
But I mean,
he's worth the deal in my opinion. But
people got to decline at some point, though.
if you want to say you don't like the deal because he might decline, okay. The line. What were
I
the
think
lines?
it's Russian roulette when you're
What were
signing a guy that for that price at that age.
What did you want the Lions to do though? I mean,
Go out and get a guy. Draft one.
they're still going to draft one. But
Then you
If
don't
you-
need
if you-
Amendola.
yes, you do. If you tell Amendola to walk out the door, are you going to expect that kind of production from a rookie? Probably not.
No, but you're going to have that guy for a lot longer than you're going to have Amendola.
That's true, but Amendola really helps you next year because there's no guarantees that your rookie would come in here and pop off right away.
True. But I do think slot receivers have a very easy time to flourish under this offense, with the two twin towers on both sides of the field, with Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay. I think it gives the slot receiver a bunch of opportunities, and I think you put a rookie in there, I think he'll kind of flourish more than a regular, the same rookie would on a different team.
I mean, you're not wrong that the slot receiver position is important in this offense for Darrell Bevel, but again, Danny Amendola put up, I think, over 800 receiving yards last year. You expecting that from a rookie right away? I mean, I wouldn't expect that from like a KJ Hamler or a Hill from Ohio State, you know.
But I will also say I don't expect that from Amendola again. That's my
What's
thing.
your gripe with Amendola?
My gripe is that he's just too old to sign for that much money. If you got him for like $2 million, it's like, all right, sure, why not? Keep him around. It adds continuity to your offense. But At 5, it's just like, ugh, what are we doing here? We're paying a guy that played good last year, but is on the downslope of his career, or maybe starting to.
It's a 1-year deal, and he showed no signs of declining last year. I think you're trying to make something out of nothing here, to be honest.
Maybe.
I don't have a problem with his contract whatsoever. I didn't think $5 million was ridiculous for him. I mean, like I said, last year he put up really solid numbers. I mean, he was a big part of the offense last year. If the Lions didn't pay him, I guarantee you the Patriots probably would have paid him. I mean, someone was going to pay him. And the Lions, again, you can't expect a rookie to come in there and try to duplicate that. That's just unfair to him, you know?
Yep.
When the Lions traded Quandre Diggs and threw Will Harris into the dogs, I was like, that's a bad idea, because you're not going to expect Will Harris to do what Quandre Diggs did, and he didn't, and he struggled in his rookie year because of it.
Exactly.
I think if you keep Amendola and then draft a rookie, that takes more pressure off the rookie, and then it allows you to have yet another weapon with Matthew Stafford. You know, the more weapons you can have, the better. So I'm not against Danny Amendola coming back. If it was like a 2-year, $10 million deal, then I'd be like, ooh.
He's gonna be 36 making that.
Right. Then I'd be like, wow. But no, I don't think a 1-year, $5 million deal is that crazy. It's kind of similar to the deal he had last year, I think.
Yeah.
So
I mean, last year, you're paying for that guy to come in and patriot it up.
And you're doing the same thing now.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, Danny Amendola was a good veteran presence to have in the locker room, good Patriot guy, and him and Kenny Galladay are close. So it's good to bring, especially when you're trying to extend Kenny Galladay, it's good to bring back his buddy, especially when he's putting up the numbers he did. So, I mean, if Danny declines next year, then I'll be like, oh, well, damn, Troy was right. But I don't fault the Lions at all for giving Danny that contract. But,
well, off of you talking about trading away Quandre, let's talk about the Red Wings trading away Mike Green and Andreas Athanasiou.
Yeah, perfect transition into the Red Wings topic. So, obviously, the NHL trade deadline was this past Monday. The Wings made 2 moves, both with the Oilers. How ironic, Stevie and Kenny doing business.
I saw people, drawing comparisons to the Lions and Patriots. I don't see that at all. I think it was just Stevie probably was in talks with the Oilers. Another, one of the, I think Athanasiou probably came up in the Mike Green talks, and he just decided to make a separate deal with him.
Welcome back.
Uncut.
All right, welcome back. We had to cut there because the air compressor went off.
Yeah, just a random air compressor in this fucking room. What the fuck?
I love how it went off, and like no one's going to know about this, but it went off and made a loud noise. I immediately looked at John. He was like...
I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh man, we were all shaking there, but we're good now.
To pick up where we left off, I was talking about people drawing comparisons to the Lions and Patriots. With the Red Wings? What's your opinion on that?
I see the comparisons because I know what they're trying to say. Bill Belichick doing business with Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn.
Yeah.
Stevie doing business with Ken Holland. I get that. I think Mike Green to the Oilers screams Ken Holland.
You know what?
I don't think Andreas Athanasiou screams Ken Holland.
It
does, but other teams had interest in Andreas Athanasiou.
Now that I think of it, maybe this is a Lions-Patriots thing, but I think this is more the Red Wings are the Patriots in this situation. Because I think they're just getting whatever scraps the guy that went to the new team
Kenny
wanted.
wants the Wings scraps. Yeah, that's true. And the Wings have won historically more than the Oilers by far. So
I think this is fair to say that this is kind of a reverse situation of the Lions and Patriots, if anything.
It absolutely is. Because like I said, I see the comparisons they're trying to make. But both Wings moves were with the Oilers. First of all, Mike Green to Edmonton in exchange for a conditional 4th-round pick and a guy who he won't even
expiring and old and
he won't play for the Wings. He's on long-term IR with a back injury, so he's
literally expiring.
He's retiring after the year, so he's not even going to play for the Wings. But they got a conditional pick out of it. So I don't know if you're aware what conditional picks mean.
I want to say it's similar to like a a compensatory pick in baseball.
So
Right?
the thing with conditional picks in the AHL is that it's a 4th round pick, but it has the chance to become a 3rd round pick.
If
If I think the Oilers make like the Western Conference Finals or something like that.
okay, I think I get it.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a signing bonus, like in the NFL when players reach like a certain targets or something, they get extra money. It's
Yeah,
kind of like
no,
that.
In baseball, they got a compensatory pick, which I want to say works like if you pay your team less than this amount, you get an extra pick or something out of it.
Compensatory picks in baseball are like if some player walks out the door for nothing, you get a pick.
Oh, that's what the arbitration period is all about, right?
A little
Isn't it?
bit.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of. Arbitration in baseball is like trying to
Welcome to the finance talk with Tony and Troy.
yeah, it's trying to like, it's almost like a contract in a sense, but not really. But anywho, don't
Yeah.
like math. Yeah, they got a conditional pick for Edmonton that could turn the 3rd round pick, but it's a 4th round pick right now.
Okay.
And then the Athanasiou deal was Athanasiou and left wing Ryan Kuffner to Edmonton in exchange for a 2020 2nd round pick, a 2021 2nd round pick, and then Sam Gagner, expiring contract.
Okay.
Not Gagner. His last name is spelled Gagner. In my video, I said Gagner, and
You got lit up.
Oiler fans were pissed. They're like, "It's Gagner, you stupid idiot." I'm like, "Okay, thanks."
Sorry, I'm not European or Russian or Canadian or
I think
whatever the hell that name is.
I think it's Swedish.
Okay.
Could be
European.
wrong. Could be wrong about that, but it's Gagner. So, anywho, he's an expiring contract though. But I thought Stevie did a great job with the trade deadline. I mean, people were initially angry because the Wings didn't get a 1st round pick for Athanasiou, and I mean, I said this in my reaction video. I'm like, guys, I didn't wake up thinking on that morning that the Wings were going to get a 1st round pick for Athanasiou. I mean, I understand that the guy had 30 goals last season, but this year, Athanasiou struggled to stay healthy. He was inconsistent, and at the time they traded him, he had 10 goals. You know, he scored last night for Edmonton, but he had 10 goals when they traded him. They were never getting a 1st round pick for Andreas Athanasiou.
Edmonton is avid that Athanasiou is going to be like a freaking 80 goal scorer.
I mean, if you have the chance to pair up a guy like Athanasiou with Connor McDavid, I think you do it. And it's working out already. Athanasiou scored last night, so hey, I thought that was a good deal for Edmonton because Athanasiou, obviously, speedster, a lot of offensive upside. You pair him up with McDavid, whoa, that's a good pairing.
Now, I mean, I know we have a sports podcast, but I'm not afraid to admit, is Edmonton any good right now? I don't know.
What do you mean we're a sports podcast? But
We're a sports. Well, we're doing a sports podcast. I should know that
Oh.
if Edmonton's good or not. But
I thought
don't.
you were making like a political jab. I'm like, what are you talking about? Edmonton's good this year.
They're in the playoff hunt for sure.
Absolutely. I think they're 2nd place in the Pacific Division right now.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
they're really good.
So these 2nd round picks are going to be late 2nd round picks.
Yes, but for a rebuilding team, you take any picks you can get.
That's true.
So, and now the Red Wings have 19 total picks in the next 2 drafts.
And I did make this. I did tweet this out when this happened, and I don't know if you saw it. I said that Athanasiou, as good as he is, was never going to be a part of our rebuild.
No, the Wings made that clear by trading him.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even before that,
Yeah.
he was never going to be a part of the rebuild.
Well, like I just said, this season he struggled to be consistent. He struggled with injuries, and he only had 10 goals this year. You know, he's a restricted free agent this summer, and I think it was very clear the Wings didn't want to pay him. You know, Steve Eisman talked about this on Fox Sports Detroit the other night. He was like, yeah, we're slowly getting more and more cap space available, even though we're not going to spend it. It's good to have that cap space,
Yeah.
He
Now-
wasn't about to dish some cap out for a guy who couldn't stay healthy and be consistent.
Now, I know the prestige of the Red Wings. Are they really a free agent draw? though? In the full market, is the
once-
prestige good enough to draw in?
Once
free
they
agents?
become good again, absolutely. You know,
But I mean, like, let's say they're
they're an original six
they got
team.
30 wins last season, but they got guys that on the up and coming. Could they bring in huge free agents?
They are going to become a free agent destination again, absolutely.
Okay.
The Wings are an original six franchise. They're in a brand spanking new arena that's going to draw free agents in. And just
Having Stevie Y as the GM definitely helps.
I was thinking of a way to word it, but you said it perfectly. Having a guy like Stevie here running the show, that definitely helps. I've said this multiple times before, I think, on here and on Trash Talk, but it's interesting to imagine what would happen if Kenny was still here.
Oh, we'd be paying Athanasiou this summer.
I think you could be looking at a possible firing of Ken Holland because of how bad this team is. But with Steve Yzerman, it's like, it's not his fault. This isn't his roster.
I do gotta say, what does it take for the Wings to fire Blashill?
Well,
what will it take?
well,
Because they have kept him on for years, and it just doesn't make any sense to me.
well, in Steve Yzerman's defense this year, firing Blashill is not going to do anything. This team sucks. They suck with Blashill as their head coach, and they suck without him
But
as their head coach.
I'd want Stevie to get a crack at his own coach. I mean,
In the offseason, not now. I don't think firing Blashill really does anything now for this Wings team. I mean, if
That's
anything, it helps the tank because
sucks.
they're bad.
Yeah.
He's not a good coach. They're losing, and they're not. The young guys really aren't taking many steps right now, and Blashill's not going to be back. I really don't believe.
I think
he'll
if
be
you
back.
were to fire him right now, it'd be for the development of your players. I think that would be the best reason why.
In hockey, though, I don't know. It's different in hockey. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't think firing a head coach would really do much for this Wings team. I really don't. But in the offseason, you could absolutely tell Blashill to kick rocks and then get your own guy in here.
Are there any guys you're peeping from around the league?
The Free Press wrote an article the other day. I forget who wrote it, but they were talking about one of Stevie's roommates from like college coming here, and
That sounds like a bad idea.
Well,
but
no,
I don't know who the guy is.
no, I
but-
don't remember his name, but he was an assistant under Barry Trotz, who obviously you don't know who this is, but Barry Trotz won a cup with the Washington Capitals a few years ago as their head coach, and then he was going to retire. He left the Capitals, and then the New York Islanders pulled him out of retirement, and he turned them into a really good hockey team. So to be an assistant under that guy, that's good for your resume.
Yeah.
So there's also reports about possibly the former Golden Knights head coach. He could be an interesting topic, but whoever Stevie hires, I'm sure he's going to be a really good coach because Steve Yzerman he's a top 5 GM in the National Hockey League. He has the resume. He has the track record from Tampa Bay. Whatever he does, I'll back it up. I will absolutely back it up because, as I mentioned, a lot of people didn't like the Athanasiou deal, and I'm like, what's wrong with 2 second-round picks and an expiring contract for a guy you weren't going to bring back? I'm sure Stevie wanted a first-round pick, but would you have traded a first-round pick for a guy who had 10 goals this year?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, to get 2 second-round picks for that and now have 19 total picks in the next 2 years, that's huge, especially for a guy who's a proven good drafter.
Yeah.
Getting Mo Seider last year, who could very well be the next Wings captain. I mean, he's that good. Could be up here this year, too. We'll see. The Griffins are in the playoff race, believe it or not. So
Yeah.
Stevie has said that he doesn't want to take the young guys away from that.
And it shows you how much faith we have in Yzerman.
Yeah.
That we're willing to give him this draft capta. If you look at the Lions, I don't want them to trade down because I'm afraid of what Bob Quinn will do with those picks. But we have faith in Yzerman that you give him enough draft picks, he'll do something good with them.
Because, like I said, he has the track record. I mean, you look at what he did with Tampa Bay, drafting Kucherov and their goalie Vasilevsky, who is one of the best goalies in the league right now. Braden Point. I mean, I could go on and on. Tampa Bay's a juggernaut because of Steve Yzerman, and he's bringing that here to Detroit. And I mean, Stevie said this in his introductory press conference. He preached patience, and we do have to be patient. Like, there were people on my timeline on Monday being like, how much time is it going to take? I'm tired.
Fire Stevie.
Like, there were people like, oh, how long is it going to take? I want to see this team be good again. It's like, dude, it's his first year. Like, we need to be patient. There's a reason he preached patience in his introductory press conference. And
Dude, it feels like it's been forever since he got inducted.
that's how long the season's been for the
Introduced.
Wings. It's been that long.
Feels
of
like
a
it's
year.
already been a second season already.
It's year one. It's year one.
God.
But I mean, we're seeing the plan start to take shape with
sure.
all this draft capital, with the cap space being cleared up, with just the steps organizationally they're taking. You know, even when you listen to Steve Yzerman, you can hear in his voice he's the guy who has a plan, and we just need to sit back and trust him because, like I said, he's a top 5 GM of the sport. He gets all the time he needs. Bob Quinn, Al Avila, Ed Stefanski, maybe to an extent, they don't get the benefit of us being patient because they don't have the track record like Stevie.
Yeah.
You know, especially Bob Quinn.
But I think as far as like, because like you said, to an extent, I think Ed Stefanski does get the opportunity to come into this offseason saying we got to be patient.
No, yeah, absolutely. But I was using him, like I said, to an extent because he doesn't have the track record like Stevie.
Yeah, exactly.
But at Stefanski, if he wanted
Does
to
have
say
a track record though.
he has a track record, not the track record, not the track record. But I mean, like I said, if Ed wanted to use the time card, he could, but not like Stevie. Like Stevie, like literally take all the time you need. to
Yzerman
build
says
this up.
patience. We'll give him like a decade.
Like just you do
We'll
your
just, you know.
do your thing, Stevie. As long as you get this right. But Al Avila and Bob Quinn, hell no. Like, let's go.
Yep.
Like, come on. Time's a ticking here with those two guys. But I mean, I talked about this on Trash Talk this afternoon. It's really good to have a GM to trust in this city.
It's really nice, you know. It really gives you a sense of warmth
Like,
with your team. It's like, I know they're gonna be there in a couple years. You don't. It's that fear of uncertainty with the other three. You know, you can be 100% certain that the Red Wings are gonna be a lot better than they are now, and you cannot say that about any other team in this city.
you don't know that the Lions are going to be any better. It's a foregone conclusion for most people that they'll be worse. The Tigers, I mean,
I don't see any hope. In
we'll
sight.
we'll
I mean,
talk about the Tigers as we get closer to spring training. I do want to spend at least a segment talking about them, but
today.
not today.
Oh, okay.
No, when we
That
get closer,
scared me. I
when
was
we
like,
no,
there's nothing to talk about.
when we get closer to opening day, which is, by the way, at the time of recording this, a month away. No, when we get closer to opening day, we'll talk about the Tigers. But right now, all I can say is that, like, you don't know if Al Avila is actually going to do this. Ed Stefanski, kind of a question mark because the Pistons literally just started a rebuild.
Yeah.
But Stevie, again, he's got the track record from Tampa Bay. He's a top 5 GM in the sport, and he's Steve freaking Yzerman. Like, he came home.
Yeah.
Like, think about that for a second.
This dude was being salivated over, dreamt about, and preached about, you know, begging to come back. You know, he comes back for the closing of the Joe, and the entire crowd is just chanting his name.
Come home, Stevie.
Come home, Stevie.
Yeah.
And
you know damn well
sure-
he heard that.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, sure enough.
We
you
were
know,
at that game, by the way.
Yeah, that was a great game.
That was your first hockey game.
My first ever hockey game, last game at the Joe.
And that was quite the experience.
Yeah. that
Now the
was.
Joe's not there.
Now, yep, I will never get a chance to make another experience close to that.
The Joe was special to me because and all Red Wing fans because we kind of grew up with the Joe, but low key, like comparing it to LCA,
The place was just like an alley.
Oh my god, it smelled like piss and beer. People would trip on the steps all the time. Like the steps were so
The steps are like literally like what? Like 8 inches
they
deep.
were so
It's like-
small. Like drunk people would fall down them all the time. Even sober people were like, "Oh god, I'm not trying to trip right now."
Like if you're not walking down the steps with your heels, you're tripping. You're
People,
literally falling
like
over.
women would show up to games in high heels, and we'd be like, "Hold
Oh,
me,
God.
hold me, hold me." But anywho, I mean, yeah, Stevie, he came home, won the cup here as a player. The Waves drafted him. You know, he was here from the beginning as a player. He came home, and now he's going to try to build this thing up the way he wants it. And it's exciting to be a Wings fan, man. It really is. I mean, for you who want to get into hockey, I would recommend next season being the year you kind of try to get back into it, especially hopefully if the Wings win the lottery.
Yeah.
Oh God! Again, if they don't win the lottery, I'm out. I'm not coming to this podcast.
I mean, do you have faith that Yzerman could turn
He's-
like a number 5 pick into the right thing?
I mean, regardless, Stevie's going to make a great pick, but Alexis Lafreniere is like special. Like he is that good of a prospect. I think he's got over 100 points right now.
I swear, these lotteries, they just need to make the number 1 pick the number 1 pick.
Or just don't do the lottery,
yeah,
period.
I mean, second through 14, you can do whatever you want. Just make that number 1 pick the worst team. That's I think the good happy medium that the NBA and the NHL are seemingly not willing to do. I don't know if it's for fear of tanking because
I don't know.
you can't tank to be the worst team in the league. Not unless you are literally like just out here saying, "Hey, look at this! Look how." And at that point, I don't think the league would have any of that.
Like, I understand if, like, the NBA and NHL, especially the NBA, they want to be against tanking. But, like, what are you supposed to do with teams like the Warriors and the Red Wings who are just awful? Like, what are you supposed to do? They get punished for being bad.
Yeah.
You know, I hate the draft lottery. I'm sure we'll talk about it if the Wings or Pistons get screwed.
Oh my God, that's gonna be the whole show.
God help us. Help me. Help me. I'll be drinking.
Well, thank God the lottery exists for the Pistons. That's for sure because they are like the best team to get the first pick right now.
They're in a good spot. The Wings, though, they just need to count their blessings. Hopefully they stay at number 1.
Yeah.
But regardless, Stevie's going to make a great pick, and the Wings are in good hands for sure. Like I said, they now have 19 picks in the next 2 drafts, 10 next year in 2020.
That's beautiful to hear.
Their first round pick, 3 seconds. There's Edmonton's, the Capitals. Their third, and then a Sharks conditional third. Edmonton's conditional 4th, and then their 5th, 6th, 7th picks. And then obviously 9 picks in 2021.
Nice.
So they're in a perfect spot to be for a rebuilding team. So Wings are in a great spot
I'm
right
digging
now.
it.
Like I said, it's good to have at least one team that we know is doing it correctly.
At least has hope in this city. You know?
Absolutely.
Hope is what we're cheering for at the moment. We can't cheer for wins.
Losses are wins. Losses are our wins.
Losses with good productivity.
Absolutely.
That's what you want.
If the young guys can ball out and we lose, I'm happy.
Yep.
Especially for the Pistons. Like a couple nights ago against the Portland Trailblazers, the Pistons lost, but Christian Wood had a good game. Bruce Brown, I think out of nowhere, Brandon Knight had a good game. He's not a young guy, but it's just funny.
You're all over Brandon Knight on Twitter.
It's
and
hilarious.
I don't know if there's sarcasm in there or not.
It's sarcastic.
Okay.
It's sarcastic. Brandon Knight's he's not going to be a Piston next year unless he's like our third point guard. But it's just funny how Brandon Knight and John Henson are actually like doing well for the Pistons. While Andre Drummond, you're not probably paying attention to the Cavs, but
No, I've kind of just written Drummond off as soon as
Andre's
he left.
not looking good in Cleveland. He's not even playing in crunch time for them.
Boy, they're doing the Stan Van thing of we got to sit Drummond during the last 2 minutes.
Not even the last 2 minutes, like a chunk of the fourth quarter. They're playing Tristan Thompson over him.
Well, that's what happens when you got 2 starting centers on your team. What are the Cavs thinking?
It's the Cavs, man. What do you want from me?
You can't put Drummond at the 4. You can't put Tristan at the 4. You're just stuck with these 2 guys that you're splitting minutes.
God bless Cleveland. Thanks for taking Andre off our hands because he's not our problem anymore. Meanwhile, Brandon Knight and John Henson are actually doing well.
Here go the Cavs accidentally winning games now.
Good.
Exactly.
They beat the Heat the other night.
Exactly. That's my point. I made this point on Twitter. It's like, well, at least Drummond can get them a couple accidental wins and
Right.
push them above us.
Right. So, yeah, God bless Cleveland. But no, Brandon Jennings.
Watch the Cavs get the number 1 pick for the 13th time in 20 years.
Probably. They're going to steal Anthony Edwards from us.
Ugh.
But no, Brandon Knight and John Henson, it's kind of sarcastic on Twitter, but it's funny how they're actually doing well for the Pistons.
Is this like kind of the sarcasm you had with Svi when he was in Grand Rapids last year? That same level of sarcasm, but with like optimism kind of sprinkled in there?
No, there's no optimism for Brandon Knight or John Henson, not even a little bit.
You don't think John Henson could be a good, like, serviceable backup to center?
Maybe like a backup center, sure, but
Like we can kind of throw Thon Maker to the wind and keep John Henson around instead?
if the Pistons don't want to bring Thon back, then sure, bring Henson back to be the backup. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I like that idea. 'Cause anything other than Thon, I'm okay with.
Thon got benched on his birthday.
Dude, this is funny stuff. The Pistons are like comedians right now.
Dwayne Casey doesn't know what he's doing with his lineups at all. Dwayne Casey, man, he's a little sus, but we'll see.
What the hell happened? He was a well-oiled machine on the Raptors.
Well, I think the Raptors taking the leap they did after they fired him is kind of
It's true.
That
is true, but they didn't have Kawhi at the same time, so
they don't have Kawhi now.
That's true too.
They might be better than they were last year. They lost Kawhi and Danny Green.
That's true. Yeah, maybe it was the final straw.
I mean, let's be real here. Would you fire the coach of the year if you didn't think something was wrong? That should have been a red flag for Piston fans. I mean, Raptor fans tried to warn us. Raptor fans were like, Dwayne Casey's not the guy you think he is. We're like, no, he's coach of the year. It's fine. Ugh, his offense is brutal to watch.
I do remember all those memes about how like the Raptors fired like coach of the year, and it's just like an empty seat. But yeah.
I don't know. Dwayne Casey's kind of sus. I don't like what he's doing with Sekou. He's not playing Sekou well. Like Sekou's game, and we're not going to talk about this at length, but like Sekou's game is like you give him the ball and let him create his own shot or let him do his thing. He's throwing Sekou in the corner and asking him to be like a catch and shoot guy. That's not who Sekou is, Dwayne. Like, what are you doing? But anywho, that's it for Pistons Talk today. Let's go into our final topic of the day, which is something that you've wanted to do for a while. We've never had time to actually do it, but now this week...
We've been busy up to this point.
This week, we're not busy, so without
we're
further...
just kind of waiting for these draftees to get in there and combine shit, and then we'll be good for next week.
So without further ado, I'll let Troy kind of introduce what exactly this is.
All right, so I watch a lot of... sports-related YouTube videos and things like this, video essays on certain players, and I came across this video essay. Well, not really a video essay. It was more like a math equation that somebody made a video about. They took all 140 teams in all 4 sports, 43, I think, and ranked them out by math on who's the most successful of all time.
So for what leagues? All 4?
All 4. NBA, NHL, MLB, NFL.
I don't mean to cut you off, but what if we do this? So we're going to talk about the Detroit sports teams, correct?
Yes.
And you have the list of who like the number 1 teams are for each league?
Yep.
I'm going to try to guess who the teams are, and then you'll tell me which one is actually it.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Do you want the full list of 1 to 143, or each league 1 to 30, 1 to 32?
So like, what if we do this? What if we just go league by league, and then I'll predict who the top team is, and then you can be like, you can tell me who the number 1 team is, and then like explain it, I guess.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, unless you have anything else you need to explain, I just kind of cut you off because I thought of that idea. I'm like, that's actually a sweet idea.
Yeah, let's do that first.
I mean, what did you want to do?
Well, okay, I wanted to start with the Detroit sports teams.
No, we can do that. We didn't have to do that league by league thing now.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring that idea up before I forgot it.
Okay, so dead center of the league would be 163. What is that? 65-ish. That'd be around there.
So
is
what
dead
is-
center, like straight average?
So they ranked every single team
Yes.
in every single sport.
Every single sport, every single team.
Ah, okay.
So 143 is the worst team in the history of sports. And number 1 is the most successful team.
What
in the
is the
history of
worst?
sports. You want me to tell you what the worst is, or
the
do you want to
number.
guess
The
it?
number.
143.
Are the Lions 143?
No,
Are they anywhere close to 143?
we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. You want to take a shot at who number 143 is?
This is of all sports.
Yes. You want me to give you the qualifiers for what makes a good, successful team?
Yes.
Number of championships.
This is according to math.
Yes. Number of championships divided by their total number of seasons.
Okay.
That's one of them.
I'm not doing all this math. But I'm just
No,
going to
no.
remember
This
it. Yeah.
is the math they use though.
Mhm.
Number of championship appearances over their total seasons played. Normalized postseason appearances. So just the amount of times they made it to the playoffs. Their championship winning percentage. And their longest championship drought as the only negative connotation.
Are you sure the Lions aren't last?
I'm sure.
Okay. So I have to guess who the last team is.
The absolute worst team. And also, consider the fact that some teams are newer than others
Yeah.
and, haven't got a chance to win yet and other than that, stuff like that.
Okay. How many guesses do I get? Because I have two that I just thought of off the top of my head already.
I'll let you, shoot those off, and if you have one more in a, few seconds later, then I'll let you do that.
Let's do a max of at least 5 guesses.
5 guesses?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So this is the last team. Number 1.
143,
143.
the absolute worst team in the history of sports.
Is it the Browns?
No.
Is it the Cavs?
No.
Okay, those are the two that came off the top of my head. Because where are those two teams? Those are pretty bad. Both Cleveland.
You'd be very surprised. The Cleveland Cavaliers are
Because of their one championship? Where are they at?
they're number 79.
How?
They're
They've won
they're-
one championship.
they're just worse than average.
They've been dog doo-doo without LeBron. How?
Because they've probably been to the playoffs enough with LeBron. The NBA is not that old that LeBron alone has probably made them a winning enough franchise.
Shows you how good LeBron is.
The fact that they've been to the finals twice. Actually, what, 3?
More than
Yeah,
twice.
twice.
4 years in a row.
Yeah, 4 years in a row. The 5th year back
I
in
guess that's
2007.
true. I didn't consider that LeBron was so good
Yeah,
there.
he is the reason that they're there.
All right, where are the Browns at? How are they not last?
They're number 142.
Are you joking me? There's a team worse than them?
Yes. Well, actually, the way they did it, or not 140. What am I talking about? 140s. There's 123 teams, not 143. I don't know where I got that number.
So the worst team is 123?
Yes, and
Cleveland, the Browns are 122?
yes, and the way that they did this list was
Who's
that they
worse than
separated the Browns between the old Browns and the new Browns because it's really funky.
So which one's 122? New?
The new Browns?
Are the old Browns 123?
No, the old Browns are close to like midway. They're like their number is 69.
Oh, nice.
Nice. They're actually like pretty dead center, the old Browns, which is surprising because even the old Browns sucked. But they were like good in the 40s and 50s, so.
All right, so how about we do this for the guessing game? I get 4 guesses, and then the 5th one, you give me a hint of which league they're in, and then
Okay.
I try to guess. Okay,
All right,
so
what number are you at right now?
this will be my 3rd.
Okay.
How the hell are the Browns not last? It can't be the Bills. The Bills.
This is
they got to the
as
Super Bowl.
By the way, this is as of the 2019 year.
So
like
it's fairly new.
The last team that they took into account was the World Series champs. Who won the World Series? What am I drawing a blank on?
Nationals?
Nationals. The Nationals are the last team that entered into this list.
Who's like dog doo-doo in baseball? I'll
give you a clock.
I need to look at a list of teams. Sorry, hold on. Once I see like a list of teams.
Here, I'll you know what? I'll give you the hint here.
Hold on.
I'm going to give you the
Hold on. It can't be the Rays.
No, you want to know where the Rays are?
Where are the Rays?
Number 101.
I knew they were close to the bottom. All right, get one more guess, and then I go to
You get a hint.
my hints. The Expos aren't on there, are they?
No, it doesn't count
Okay,
old teams.
okay,
It counts
okay.
current teams. So I'll let you redo that one since you didn't know that old
Yeah.
teams weren't a thing.
Okay, so I don't think the team is in baseball. Let's go to the NBA. Raptors just won a title. They wouldn't be there. The Wizards?
No, the Washington Wizards are... Where the hell are the Wizards? It's a long list. I'm sorry.
The Wizards or the Bullets?
The Wizards... Let me just go to by sport. The Wizards are close to the top.
Really?
Yeah, in the NBA, they're the 11th best NBA team.
Jesus. All right, can I get one more guess before we go to the hints? Because
Sure.
I completely forgot about them. The
Sure.
Knicks?
No.
Where are the Knicks?
The Knicks, in terms of the NBA, are 10th overall.
Where are they ranking
And
wise
in
overall?
Overall, they are 53rd.
Okay, give me my hint, please.
It is the NBA.
What? Okay, let me look up the NBA
Think
teams again.
recent. Think teams that haven't got a chance to win because they're newer.
Teams that haven't gotten a chance to win because they're newer. The Hornets?
No, but they're around the same time period.
The Thunder?
Nope. I'll give you
The Kings?
No. The Kings are old, dude. The Pelicans.
Oh, come on. I would never have guessed that.
The Pelicans. They haven't even made it to the playoffs yet.
Well, they might.
Yeah, they might now. But yeah, up to the
Oh, that's so obvious. They joined the league like 4 years ago. Oh.
But I mean, if you're gonna take out, old teams new teams, then the Browns are the worst team in the history of sports.
Ugh, the Pelicans. God bless. Okay, so that's the worst team.
You want to guess the best team of all time,
Yankees.
or do you want to do top 5?
Well, I'm going to try to guess number 1, and then
Here, I'll actually help you out with the top 5. I'll tell you how many teams are in which sports and that. So there are 2 baseball teams.
Yankees, Dodgers.
Hold on, let me just list them all out for you before you go naming. There are 2 baseball teams, 2 basketball teams, and 1 hockey team.
No football. No Cowboys in there?
No football. In fact,
Where are the Cowboys?
the NFL doesn't even crack the top 10.
Jesus. So you said 2 baseball, 2 basketball, 1 hockey.
Yep.
Is hockey the Wings?
No.
Canadians.
Canadians.
Okay. Yeah. They have a lot of Stanley Cups. So that's hockey.
Yeah, the Wings are not in the top 5.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Baseball, Yankees, Dodgers.
You have the Yankees. Can you tell me where they are in the top 5?
3.
2.
2.
They're number 2.
Okay. No Dodgers.
No Dodgers. The LA Dodgers are... They're back. They're back some.
Really? Well, they haven't won a World Series in a while, so that would make sense.
Dodgers are the 6th best MLB team,
Okay.
which is actually pretty surprising still. Like there are 5 teams better than them in the MLB.
What about the Red Sox?
The Red Sox are 47th all time.
I just thought about it. They went through that major drought.
They went through like 100 years
Yeah,
of drought.
yeah.
Yeah, that's going to definitely take them down some.
So the Yankees are number 2.
You'll be very surprised about what the other baseball team is. I'll say you that.
Let me look at the list of baseball teams. Would it be the Cardinals?
It is the Cardinals.
Okay.
At what number?
4.
Number 5.
Number 5.
So you got the Cardinals at 5, the Yankees at 2.
Canadians are what? 3? 4?
3. Canadians are
So I need
number
4
3.
and 1.
You need number 4 and
2
number 1.
basketball teams.
Huh. Wonder who they are.
Lakers.
Lakers where?
1.
1.
Okay. I need to guess number 4.
Come on, Tony. You should already know this.
I mean, I'll look at their team logo and be like, "Oh, duh." Maybe not.
Come on, Tony. It's so obvious.
How is it obvious? Celtics?
Yes.
Oh, duh. I told you, duh. I would look at their logo and be like, "Oh, duh."
Yes. Yeah.
Celtics are 4.
Yep. So St. Louis Cardinals number 5, Boston Celtics number 4, Montreal Canadiens number 3, New York Yankees number 2, LA Lakers number 1.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Now I am very surprised that the Yankees are not first with their fucking 27 titles.
They have a lot of World Series championships and
But
playoff appearances.
The fact that they, it's baseball, it's over 100 years. There are droughts in the Yankees titles,
and
I think that takes them down a little bit.
and the Lakers are the Lakers too.
Yeah, the Lakers have a freaking title in every decade.
Yeah. All right. So now we move on to Detroit sports.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to guess here, Detroit sports?
You're supposed to guess. I'll give you like a 3-number distance of guessing where each team is.
So kind of like multiple choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll list off their accomplishments so it gives you an idea of, how good they were over the past, however long. We'll go Red Wings. 11 championships, 19 conference championships, 64 playoff appearances, 4 Hart Memorial trophies, a 12% championship percentage. Over the course of all their seasons, they won the championship 12% of the time. And in 42 years is their longest drought.
I'll say because of that. I'll say because of the Dead Wings era, they probably dropped to like 5.
5. You already guessed number 5.
What?
You already guessed number 5, which was the St. Louis Cardinals.
5th in the NHL?
Oh, in the NHL? No.
Wait, what am I guessing here? Where they are?
Did you,
period?
Did you want to do period or just in the NHL? How did you want
Well,
to do this?
I can do period, I guess.
Okay.
They in the 20s, like 25-ish.
No, you're actually thinking pretty low of them.
So they're higher than that.
They're better than that.
Are they like 13?
You're still thinking too low. They're in the top 10.
They are? Well, I feel like you should give me numbers here so I'm not just kind of shooting in the dark.
Okay.
I thought you were going to give me numbers.
Yeah, all right, fine. They're in the top 10.
I'm
not going to
7?
Number 6.
6.
Number 6. They're number 6 all time.
Jeez.
They
Just
are-
missed the top 5.
They are the best Detroit team in the,
But there's no surprise
in the
there.
list.
No surprise there.
Duh. Let's go Pistons. I'll say that
Give me
they're
a range.
I'll say that they're in the upper half. They're the better half of the list, which is anywhere between 1 and 63.
40 something? They in the 40s?
Yes.
They're in the 40s. 42.
Dead on. 42.
Are you serious?
Dead on.
Dude.
3 championships.
I deserve
7
props for that.
You do.
I promise I didn't cheat, by the way.
No, you did not. I have not showed him this list whatsoever. Thank you, John. 3 championships, 7 conference championships, 0 league MVPs, which is surprising.
That does. I don't remember them ever winning an MVP.
I would have thought maybe like in the 60s or 70s when they got like Dave Banger, Bob Lanier, but
Yeah.
5% of the time they've won the championship. 40 years is their longest drought, and they are the 9th best NBA team.
That's good.
And by the way, the Red Wings were second, obviously.
Yeah. Well. All right.
Let's go Tigers. So they have 4 championships, 11 conference championships, 12 league MVPs, which is surprising.
That doesn't
Maybe
surprise
not.
me.
Not with Ty Cobb and Al Kaline and all them.
Miggy's Triple Crown years kind of helped too.
That too. 3% of the time, because baseball's so freaking old, they've won the championship. 35 years is their longest drought, which is actually the smallest in Detroit sports, which is I'm very surprised by.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that they're better than the Pistons.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't?
No.
It did surprise me when I saw this list. I was like, wow, the Tigers are higher than the Pistons?
Those 5 World Series championships?
4.
4. Where did I get the 5th from? Those MVPs help.
Definitely.
Those help. So they're higher than 42.
Yep.
36.
Higher than that.
Really?
Yeah.
31.
I'll just say what it is at this point. You're close enough. It was 26.
I could have gone higher. Come on now. Just keep on telling. I want to.
Okay. But 26 of all time, the Detroit Tigers. That is very surprising to me.
Those MVPs help.
Because it seems to me that the Tigers go long periods without even, being contenders.
They do. But
which I don't even know how that would make them qualify. I guess because they were so good
when
in
they're
the
good,
early
they're good.
years.
Yeah, when they're good, they're good.
Yeah, I mean, between, this past decade and the early 1900s, I guess, are the two things that really carry them to the top.
Mm-hmm.
But still, that still surprises me.
That run from 2010 to 2014 helps too. I mean,
Yeah.
they won the division every single year. They got MVPs and Triple Crowns and Cy Youngs and all this other stuff. So, pennants. I mean, yeah, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Wings, Tigers, Pistons, Lions is about right. It's about right.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see where
Lions.
the Lions are.
All right. Now, do you want me to give you their...
I'm just going to guess. And you'll tell me high or
By the
low.
way, the caveat with the NFL is that all championships won prior to the Super Bowl, they did not count them as...
The Lions are about to be so
No,
low.
they didn't count them as championships. They counted them as conference championships. So it would be the equivalent of the Lions making the Super Bowl but losing.
I'm going to say the Lions are let's start at an even number, 100.
Higher. They are
Higher than 100?
They are not in the bottom 25 teams of all time.
Oh, Lordy B.
They are
All right, let's go another even number, 80.
higher.
How? 60.
Lower.
70.
Lower. They're between 70 and 80.
78.
No.
76.
75.
75. How?
Remember, the middle number is 63.
So they're just below average.
They're just below average.
That list is bullshit.
Here's why they say this. 5 conference championships. They have 1 league MVP with Barry Sanders. 62 years is the longest playoff drought. Now, you'd think that's not a good line whatsoever, but, I mean, 5 conference championships, quote unquote, with their 5 NFL championships that they won, that puts them up there. I mean,
I guess. If this was Super Bowl era, though, just Super Bowl era, they'd be at the bottom. All right. Give me the bottom 5.
The bottom 5 of all time.
Yeah, I'm not going to guess. Just tell me.
New Orleans Pelicans, absolute worst. The Cleveland Browns,
Yeah.
The Winnipeg Jets.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Wait, new or old? New?
I think they just lumped them in together.
Okay. How do you lump them together but not the Browns?
Because
it's the same
the
thing.
old Browns became the Ravens, and it was just yeah.
Okay. Well, the old Jets became the. Who the hell did they become? Oh, this is going to kill me. I don't remember who they became, but they became somebody.
I don't know why they lumped them in together. Honestly, like why the Browns are the exception and not the rule.
The Jets. I remember they used to be the Thrashers, the
Yeah.
Atlanta Thrashers. I remember that.
Maybe it's because the Browns and the Jets are the only two teams in like sports that have left and came back.
Yeah. I mean, the Jets did too, though.
That's what I'm saying. The Winnipeg Jets are in there, and I mean, were they good when they were on the old Jets?
Why do you think they left?
So, I mean,
The only reason they're back is because Winnipeg got pissed. They're like, we want the Jets back. So we're like, all right, here you go. They still suck.
so yeah, I mean, they kind of still deserve that third from bottom spot.
All right, who are the other two?
Seattle Mariners.
Don't they have a World Series? I swear I thought they did.
If they do, I think no, they don't have a World Series. That can't be that low with a World Series.
I swear I thought they won the World Series.
Let me
one year.
Google that. Real
I might just be going crazy.
The Mariners won a World Series.
Maybe they haven't.
Um,
I know they won like a shit ton of games in 2001, but they didn't win that year.
Mariners are one of 6 MLB teams to never won the World Series.
Really? I thought they won at least one. Wow. All right.
There's your answer. That's why they
Well,
suck.
I don't know the feeling because I'm a Tiger fan.
And then number 5 is the Columbus Blue Jackets.
That doesn't surprise me. They haven't won shit. They just won their first playoff series last year. They just
How old is that team? Like 30, 40 years old?
No,
at
I
this
think
point?
they're close to 20 years old. They're young.
Yeah.
They started relatively soon.
But yeah, to only have one playoff series win in 20 years. That's
Yeah.
That
Yeah. They are
I'll do the top 10. I'll do the
yeah, so
bottom
give
10.
me the top 4 that we haven't mentioned yet.
The Charlotte Hornets are the 6th worst team.
Wait, worst?
6th worst team.
Oh, I thought we were going top 10. I was
okay.
like, how the hell did the Charlotte Hornets peak
No,
up there?
I meant to say bottom 10.
Oh, okay.
So Charlotte Hornets are the 6th worst team. And then followed by, surprisingly, like this actually shocked me, the Memphis Grizzlies.
I mean, what have they won?
True, but
They used to be the Vancouver Grizzlies. Why do you think they moved? They didn't win anything either.
that's true. But I thought their playoff series wins were they're like 2.
It's
They're like 2 playoff
3.
series wins in 25. Yeah, never mind. That doesn't surprise. It did just based on name value alone. But
Probably
if
because
you-
they're at least decent now.
yeah. The Jacksonville Jaguars,
They haven't won shit.
They haven't
So
won
that doesn't.
shit.
They're about to get moved to London. What does that tell you?
the Houston Texans.
They haven't won anything.
It really goes to show exactly.
The Texans are that low.
Yeah,
Jeez.
they're the 9th worst team
Jeez.
of all time. It really goes to show where the Lions would be if not for those NFL championships.
They'd be like bottom.
Because they are, along with the Jaguars and Texans, one of the only team, and the Browns, one of the only teams to never win a Super Bowl. And all 3 of those teams are in the bottom 10. So,
That's interesting.
and the Browns did win an NFL championship,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the old Browns, and the old Browns are number 69.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So those do count pretty heavy towards the, being towards the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, if they only counted the Super Bowl era, Lions would be screwed.
They would be screwed. So finish out the top 10. Who are the 4 under the wings?
And Arizona Coyotes was the number 10 team.
They also haven't won anything.
Let's just throw them in there at the end because they don't matter.
The Coyotes, they used to be the Phoenix Coyotes.
So obviously we got Lakers at number 1,
Mhm.
Yankees at 2, Canadians at 3, Celtics at 4, Cardinals at 5, Wings at 6. The number 7 team the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, that's not surprising to me.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a dump right now, but they've historically been really good.
Yep. Number 8, the Chicago Bulls.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's 6 championships. The
Yeah.
Michael Jordan era definitely.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah. Number 9, the San Antonio Spurs.
The dynasty run, yeah.
Yep. I think a lot of these are helped by the fact that
There was a dynasty.
there's a dynasty somewhere in there.
Is number 10 a basketball team?
No.
Oh, well, never mind.
I'll let you guess number 10. It's a hockey team.
Blackhawks,
No.
Bruins.
In fact, the Blackhawks are number 30.
Bruins,
Bruins are number 15.
Rangers.
That's actually one of the biggest shocks to me. The Islanders are better than the Rangers, but neither of them are number 10. I don't know how the Islanders are better than the Rangers all time, but they are.
I have to look at the list of hockey teams. I for sure thought it would have been the Blackhawks or at least a original 6 team. Hold on. Penguins?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. I just saw their logo and I'm like, they have won like 3 cups in the past like 10 years. Yeah.
Yep, that is the number 10 team. The Cowboys, as you mentioned earlier, are right outside the top 10 at number 11.
That surprises me. I mean, they also haven't won anything in like a long time, so
And in fact, all the NFL teams that are good are all bunched together basically right outside the top 10. It goes Cowboys and then Steelers and then Packers.
that's interesting. This is off topic, but Alex Bregman got drilled in a spring training game.
Dude, I'm so happy for this. I'm so happy that this is a trend. But yeah, are there any like teams that come to mind that you'd like to know where they rank? I'll tell you right now, the New England Patriots at number 26.
Where are
Or
the
no, not number 26, 24, I mean.
Where are the Warriors?
Wait, where are the Patriots? 28, my bad. The Warriors are number 16.
I'm sure that dynasty run helped.
Yeah. There was 5 championships now. Yeah, they're up there.
Where you said the Blackhawks are what, 30?
30.
Are there any other teams I'm like curious of? Where are the Indians?
The Cleveland Indians are towards the bottom. I know that.
Cleveland. Indians suck.
Like you just crack it up over there at the idea of them just being ass.
You said they're at the bottom. I chuckled.
Actually, they're just slightly above average.
Ugh.
They're number 59.
Yeah, okay. Where are the Cubs at?
The Chicago Cubs, 78.
If they didn't have their World Series, they wouldn't be close.
That streak would still keep going.
Where are the 49ers at? They have to be high up there.
Yeah, they are. They are at number 20.
Steelers?
Steelers, I mentioned earlier, they are at number 12.
Oh, I remember you saying that. That was actually pretty interesting of a topic.
Yeah, see? Other notables, remember how I said 63 is dead center?
Who's dead center?
The Philadelphia Phillies. the most
I shouldn't laugh. I like the Phillies.
average team in all of sports.
They're the one Philadelphia team I can stand because of Bryce Harper.
What's even more crazy, number 61 is the Philadelphia Flyers. Number 63 is the Phillies. Number 64 is the Eagles.
So Philadelphia is an average sports city.
It's the
I'm
most,
sure I'm sure their fan base will love that.
It's the most average sports city in America. With the only exception being the 76ers, who are at number 34.
Detroit's really top heavy.
It is top
Makes
heavy.
me feel good.
Their
Also
wor-
terrible because
their-
they're all bad.
Their worst team is just outside of the top half. Which honestly shouldn't work.
Maybe our teams aren't so bad.
Hold your horses. The Lions all came from prior to 1960, so
Well, the Lions are winning the Super Bowl next year, so
so we'll just we'll crack that top half.
after the Super Bowl 54 win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Someone tweeted that the other day. I'm like, yeah, okay.
So here are notable teams that the Pistons are better than: the Knicks, the Mavericks, the Raptors, the Thunder. And then those are the only teams that really matter in the NBA because the rest of them just are synonymous with being garbage. The Pacers are surprisingly low. They're 24th on the
What
list
have they
of
won?
NBA. I mean, yeah. But, you got the Ron Artest Pacers. You got these Victor Oladipo Pacers. You had the Paul George Pacers. You'd figure they have enough good years that they wouldn't be 24th.
A championship helps.
That is true. The worst team that has a championship on this list is the Hawks. Yeah. At number 17. So the best team without a championship is the Wizards. Or no, the Wizards have a championship. The best team without a championship is the Thunder. Unless you count the Sonics.
I was about to say, do you count the Sonics, though?
Trailblazers won? Yeah, they did. Who's the worst team? The best team without one is the Kings. No, the Kings even have one in the 50s.
In the 50s.
So the Kings are the worst team with a championship. The Magic are the best team without a championship. Which makes sense. You got the Shaq Magic. You got the Dwight Howard Magic. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, they did get to the finals in, 2009?
Yeah. Teams that are worse than the Lions.
NFL-wise?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Seahawks.
How? They've won
Those
won a
NFL
Super
championships, baby.
Come on. That's so stupid.
The Cardinals, the Bills. That all makes sense.
They don't?
They're below the Lions.
You said that doesn't make sense?
No, that does.
Oh, I thought you said they don't make sense. I'm like, well, what have they won?
The Vikings.
What have they won? Hey, Viking
But it
fans,
is-
we're better than you.
Yeah, we're historically better than you. How do you feel about that? The Falcons.
Again, what have they won? That's my excuse for every team. Like, you're listing off these teams, I think about it, I'm like, yeah, what have they won?
Here are teams that the Tigers are better than. Oh, this was a team that shocked the hell out of me. The Marlins are 9th best baseball team.
Those 2 World Series helps.
But they haven't done a single thing since then.
I mean,
A single thing. Not a single damn thing.
yeah, but again, those 2 World Series I think helps.
Yeah. Tigers are better than the Twins, the Red Sox, the Angels, the White Sox. I mean, I think we're better than every team in our division. Yeah, we are. The third best baseball team is the Athletics. Behind
They're-
the Cardinals and Yankees.
They're historically good, yeah. That
Do you
doesn't
think they're
surprise
better
me.
than the Dodgers or the Reds, though? That's surprising to me.
That's a fair point. I wouldn't have guessed that, no.
Yeah. Like
But,
that. Like, I'm thinking like Billy Bean when I
Yeah.
think of the Oakland A's. I'm not thinking anything else.
I think of the 89 title for sure,
Yeah.
but other than that, no.
Who are the just absolute blow chunks baseball teams? The Brewers, the Rockies, the Padres, and the Rangers.
Yeah, what if they won? Yeah, that they
Yeah.
don't surprise me at all.
Do the Rangers even have a championship yet? As an old team,
They were
like them?
they
I
were
mean,
a strike away in 2011.
yeah, they were.
Sorry, Ranger fans, for that.
I mean,
I don't
it's
I don't
not
think-
surprising that the Red Wings are better than all these other teams on the list, but yeah, it's pretty crazy to see like all the teams that like the Lions are better than. I mean, you got freaking teams like the Panthers, Seahawks. The Seahawks like really
that
is
shocked
surprising.
me. That shocked me. I was like, you're like Seahawks. I'm like, what?
In fact, the Seahawks, Lions are at 75, Seahawks are at 76. So apparently, by math, they're like the same team. Seahawks
Take that with a grain of salt.
Seahawks were your twins over here. I'm glad. I hope you guys feel the same way.
I'm sure they feel the exact same way.
I'm sure they look at the Lions and go, "Yep, that's the same team.
That's us.
That's us. That's the East Coast us there."
Oh, God. I don't think the Patriots look at the Lions that way, even though we're the Detroit Patriots.
The Patriots probably look at us as like, ew. Somebody try and copy us and run out of ink.
It's
That was
just
a
like,
bad-
it's a half-painted lion in Patriot colors.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But yeah, other than that, I think that was pretty fun.
No, that was actually better than what I thought it was going to be.
I'm glad.
Because, like, you first introduced it as, like, just the best franchises ever. I'm like, I don't know if that's a good talking point. But then you kind of explained it more. I'm like, okay, that could be something.
Yeah.
It turned out to be nice. We have more of those fun segments coming up eventually. Troy still has to review NBA 2K20.
I'll probably get to every major sports video game eventually here.
We got to spend, like, a topic just doing everything.
Yeah.
What other like kind of interesting non-sportsy topics are there?
Non-sportsy?
Not Detroit sports wise, like what we just did, kind of. I mean, you want to review 2K20?
Yeah. There's.
You hate Madden. I assume you would like to talk about that.
Yeah. That's actually the main reason why I wanted to review video games, is so I could talk about Madden and 2K. But yeah, we'll get to that. Is there any like fun stuff you want to bring to the table? Anything you've been thinking about, or that,
I haven't
that
really
we can have in store?
I haven't really thought about it yet, honestly.
Yeah, start thinking of some like fun topics and stuff to do on our off weeks, and yeah, I think that'll be fun to just kind of go through and get each other's opinions on shit like that. So.
Absolutely. All right, I think that's a nice segue to end this show. John left, but
Yeah, so just wave your hand so he knows where to end it.
we got to like make a sound so he recognizes like this is the end. But with that, I think it was a good show this week.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. Thank you guys for listening this week, and have a good rest of your week. I am off to Vegas.
Oh, have
Ooh.
fun.
By the time you're watching this, I'll be by the pool.
You'll be dumping $300 on which draftee is gonna have the best bench press. You're gonna be doing those Vegas bets.
Isaiah Simmons. I will. By the time you're watching this video, I will be by poolside with John Gruden.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what, man. Turkey hole.
I tell you what, man. We got this guy coming in. He's gonna be something special. I want you to meet him.
Turkey hole. What you trying to trade Darius Slay to us, man?
I want Darius Slay. I like saying his name.
I like big play guys.
I like big play men.
That's enough out of us. Have a good rest of your week, guys.